'Cause all of me loves all of you. Love your...
What's up, my restored beauties? Welcome back to my channel. It is April 8th, 2018, and it's 8:02 in the morning. On my last video, which I think I posted on Thursday, I said that I'm going to be talking about love languages, inspired by Gary Chapman's book, The 5 Love Languages. And on Thursday, I touched base on the words of affirmation. So many of you wrote down your quiz or that you have taken, and some of you had no clue. Some of you just wrote whatever. Anyway, either way, I am very thankful for all of you and the support and the love you guys show on my channel. Before we begin, I would love for you to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and also hit the bell button so that YouTube notifies you every time I upload. Because whether you subscribed or not, if your bell is not on, chances are YouTube may not notify you. Also, don't forget to follow me on social media. I will be posting short clips of these videos on my Instagram, and all the other social media will always be on the description below. So the 5 love languages were words of affirmation, quality time, physical touch, receiving gifts, and act of service. Mine, when I did the test, I got a little bit of everything, but words of affirmation were the highest score. So whatever your score is, which would be the highest score, because you're gonna receive a little bit of everything depending on what your answer was, that the highest score is actually your love language. Don't forget to share with each other. If your partner doesn't want to do it, maybe after you read yours, he or she may want to do it. All right, quality time. Isn't it interesting how before you get married, I'm talking about husbands now, your husband, the guy who pursues you, is always looking at you, can't stop, he won't get his eyes off your eyes, and he's always like, looking at you when you guys are talking. Yet when you get married, all that goes away fast, and you'd be lucky if he turns his head while you're talking to him after you get married, while he's playing a video game or something. I mean, you'd be lucky if he turns his head. Now, I'm not saying that all men are like that, but somehow most of them are. Maybe spending time with your spouse or your partner isn't your thing, like sitting down and talking to somebody and looking them in the eye. But I know for me it is, and I know marriages or any relationship really depend on that. They depend on how much quality time you spend together, not apart. Because communications happen while we choose to sit down and speak to each other, not while we're running away or while we're in a hurry or texting. Texting is a form of communication, but it's different, It's different, like sitting and actually looking at somebody in the eyes while you're speaking to them. Because through texting, let's be honest, everybody can lie. Sorry, my voice is a little raspy today. When you get married, it's very important to set time apart so you spend it together as a couple without no interruptions, without kids. And if you have kids, like we have one, and we're far away from family, so it's like really, really hard to find somebody that you trust to take care of your kid. So you kind of compromise, or you kind of like sacrifice the time that you're supposed to spend alone with your spouse, because you're like coming up with all these excuses, which could be true, and but at the same time, nothing is impossible. You can find somebody to watch your kid, and you guys make it possible to have some quality time together, as a couple, even if it's like an hour, a dinner. But remember, we make our own schedule. We are the king of our time. Gary Chapman, the author of the book 5 Love Languages, The 5 Love Languages, wrote this, and I'm quoting him. Quality time is giving someone your undivided attention. I don't mean sitting on the couch while you're watching TV. I mean sitting on the couch with the TV off, looking at each other and spending that quality time together. A central aspect of quality time is togetherness. A husband or anybody, is watching TV while the spouse, the wife, is speaking, is not giving his or her attention to the person who's speaking to. That's just not a full attention, because you're just watching TV, you're not looking at the person in the eyes. If you hear your spouse saying these words, "You never seem to have time for me. You're always too busy and too tired," chances are that he or she is tired or is busy. But the conversation should start like this: what should we do today? What would you like to do today? So when you incorporate we, it's more than you're thinking as a couple instead of just you as an individual. You have to think of as we when you're a couple, you always have to address every situation as we. And also when you love somebody, you set aside your wishes and your desires. You put your spouse first. When you hear your spouse saying, "You don't understand me. How can you not see what I'm feeling?" And usually, he or she may not know what you're feeling, does not understand what you're thinking, or does not understand you. And that's as a result of not spending quality time together. Because when you spend quality time together, you have an open door to ask your other partner, to ask your spouse about how they feel. What do they think about this situation or that situation? So you have an open door to understand them, to understand their thinking, to understand their feeling. And these type of approaches can be used in any relationship, not just marriage. Once my husband told me, "You're always on your cell phone." And my answer was this: my cell phone listens to me. My cell phone makes my hands warm. My cell phone entertains me, but it doesn't talk back to me, and that's big downfall. If you actually spend more time with me, I wouldn't need that cell phone. I wouldn't need to be so addicted to my cell phone. Now we're better, but that's how it was, and that's how it can get when you don't spend time together. Sometimes it's not done intentionally. Sometimes it's just done out of carelessness or just not paying attention or not knowing. You're just like letting every excuse out there get in between the quality time that you're supposed to spend with your spouse, no matter what. Whether you're busy at work or you have kids, life is just too crazy. You always have to make time. You make the time. Everybody has an hour a week to spare. Because let me tell you something. Once you get on your phone, you give that phone. I mean, we're like married to our phones. You're on the phone. You're on Instagram, YouTube, or Facebook, or whatever. You're not gonna spend 20-30 minutes. I can guarantee you that. You spend at least an hour or two. That 1 hour and 2 you can spend developing the quality time with your spouse. And I know most of us are on social media. I've been trying not to recently. I've been doing so good, but mostly everybody's on social media at nighttime, which is the worst time, because that time you're supposed to dedicate it to your own body, to sleep, rest. But during the day, that time, if you're together, if you have a chance, set it aside and spend it together. Get to know each other. What's my point? My point is this: we humans are made for each other. We are made to enjoy each other's presence, each other's thoughts, each other's company. So electronics should never replace that and can never replace that. Sometimes we're just too busy sticking our nose into other people's lives, through social media, seeing what they're doing, always keeping up, where we forget that we have a life and we should be keeping up with our life, our own business, our own relationships. Spending that time over there, you can spend it with your spouse, with your partner. Maybe quality time isn't your love language, but it may be your spouse's, your partner's. So discover it and nourish it if you want your marriage relationship to flourish. In the end, plan your quality time as if you're planning for your first date. Every time you guys meet, whether it's you, the husband or the wife that has the chance to plan a date, plan it as if you're planning for your first date. The dinner, the flowers, the chocolate, the place, the location, the movie, and leave the electronics behind, or at least turn them off during that time. Because where two are together, there's no need for a third wheel. Nope. Hope you guys enjoyed this topic on quality time and spending quality time with your spouse, your partner. I hope you got some of the tips, some ideas, and you can use them for yourself. I'm pretty sure everybody knows them, but I just thought I would throw it out there for you guys and share, because quality time is really important. That is how we grow, that is how we know each other, that is how we get better at understanding each other, that is how we communicate, is when you set aside to spend some quality time with your spouse, with your partner. Don't let anything or anyone take that away. You have to set a time, you have to make it a time, put it as your priority, because life will try to push its priorities on you, on us. So if you enjoyed this video, like these topics and find them useful, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. In the comments below, don't be shy and comment what if quality time is your love language, and how do you spend it, what you do, or what would you like to do. All right, be blessed and enjoy this day. Bye.